Hey guys, be sure to like me on Facebook and follow me on Instagram for extra content you won't see here. Click the links in the description below. Hey, what's up everybody? eRivera94 bringing another action figure review. Today we are going to take a look at something very special here. We have the Tom and Jerry Dasin action figure from a Chinese company that I've never heard of, but here it is. The name of the company is, of course, Dasin or Dasin. Not sure how you pronounce it. I'm just going to go with Dasin. They don't really even have a logo or anything, so this is a company from China. I don't know if they make knockoffs of any other company's figures, but this is a totally 100% original figure by them, and it's something I've been very excited for since I've seen pictures of it online. It's very cool to have it in hand and see how official this actually looks. This is pretty cool. I love the box. First of all, it's a very classic looking box. For Tom and Jerry, one of my favorite cartoons as a child. I'll post a link in the description if the link is still available for this actual item. I bought it off of eBay right now. You can only get it off of eBay. Of course, it's from a Chinese seller. I'm sure there's other few Chinese sites that have it, but I did get mine from eBay. If you guys are curious, I'm sure I'm going to get questions about that. But here's the front of the package. We have Tom and Jerry. Got a cool picture of Tom and then Jerry down here. They're both kind of like black and white, so they're not really colored. Then we just got wow. So the box is cool. I like the box. You can tell it's they made it themselves. It's not something that is like official, but it really does look pretty decent. Up here is his Dasin model action figure 2018 made in China. Then we got the two figures through the window. The sides have nothing. The back really has nothing as well. We just got choking hazards and then the warning, and that's about it. It says this product is suitable for ages 15 and up. And then saying how some components are sharp and fragile and blah blah blah. So anyways, let's get them out the box and see how this this figure looks in hand. I want to show you guys how everything's packaged. Those of you that are interested, we get to see a lot of things that are hidden behind the box once you slide out the insert holding the figure inside. Alright, and there we have them out the box, and before I get to that, I want to show you guys the instruction, little piece of paper inside. So it really doesn't show much. It just shows, it says free transformation, whatever that means. It's just showing that you can swap heads and hands and whatnot. And on the other side, we get a colored version of that. So right here, you just get a little image of the stuff it comes with, and it's telling you that you can swap some pieces and where he can hold some accessories and all that. So that comes inside there. I also want to mention, I forgot to mention that the actual box itself is actually a good quality. It's not a flimsy box. It's actually a pretty thick cardboard they use for that. Alright, so enough of that. We're going to get to the figures right now. And this is definitely something very special. Something that you would expect to see from an official brand or official, SH Figuarts or Figma or something. Someone that's more recognized by collectors. But Dasin, I've never heard of Dasin before. And the fact that it's just coming from a little company in China doing their own thing is something very cool and special. And the fact that they produce something looking so good is also pretty special too. So I like the way it looks so far. Everything looks nice. So we also get two more alternate Tom heads, and here is one of them. We got one looking to the side here with a smile on his face, and for the most part this thing looks good. I like the sculpt and I like the paint. Don't see anything messed up here. The pink is painted very clean on the ears, looks pretty good, and the eyes are painted very good too. So it's quite impressive what I'm seeing here. The whiskers are painted pretty clean, and the mouth, the tongue inside, very good work there. Along with his other face, we have this very cool face here. It looks like he's making a weird face expression, but he's actually, this is the one where he is slurping the milk out of a bowl. And we're going to get into that. It comes with an accessory that you can stick a straw in his mouth. So here's the straw. And then the straw gets connected to the bowl of milk right here. So that's pretty cool. So we got a bowl of milk, which is painted pretty good too. And then if you look closely, hopefully you can see it, we have some streaks in the milk showing where the straw landed in the bowl, and the milk is waving outwards, if that makes sense. There's ripples in there, so that's a pretty good little detail they added there. Then we also have a baseball bat for Tom, because we know he's always up to no good. And then sticking with Tom accessories, we do have extra hands. So along with his open hands that come on the figure, we do have grabbing hands. So obviously he can grab the baseball bat with either of these hands here. And then we have these hands, which is pretty cool. Looks like he's about to catch Jerry. So there's that. And then we also have my favorite one. We have one with Jerry inside, and this is awesome. He finally caught Jerry. It slides out. It looks weird, but of course you're going to want to leave that inside his hand. You got the tail sticking out on the bottom. That's just a very cool piece of accessory there. It's just very nice that they thought about this. And that is it for Tom's accessories. He comes with quite a bit. Now we're going over to Jerry. Jerry is very cool as well. We have him right here. And he comes with an extra head. So we have this one right here where he's looking to the side. Now this one on my particular figure came with a little scratch on his ear, or a paint scuff. Don't know if you can catch that. It's a little black mark. It's not the biggest deal, but you know, there is that. Overall, the paint hasn't been too troubling on these figures, as I just showed you guys. Nothing really too crazy horrible. I have a mouse trap here, which I guess this can count as Tom's if he's laying down a trap for Jerry. And we have a piece of cheese to go along with that, so that's pretty cool. We have cheese and a mouse trap. And then we have crossed arms, which is, I'm pretty interested to see how this is going to look on Jerry. We can remove Jerry's arms and attach crossed arms to Jerry. And that is about it for accessories for the figure. We also get a base and a stand here. We have a little smaller stand for Jerry, and we have two claws to hold them both. Alright, so here is a look at Tom up close. We can see overall the paint has been applied very well on this figure. The chest is, or the torso has been painted very well too. We actually have some shading on him too, so we get some shading on the legs, on the arms here. The sculpt is pretty cool too. I like the sculpt. It's got some weird random marks on his left leg there. Could be just my particular figure. Here's a look at him from behind. Again, we have some a few just random marks here and there. Nothing really too horrible. Nothing I can really just be upset about. Alright, so we got the head that can turn left and right, and the left and turning is very tight. I like the tightness on that. He looks down about this much, and then he looks up about that much, so that's not too bad as well. And you can see he can tilt his head as so that looks good too. The arms do go forward and back. They go in and out, so about this far. Good range. We have a bicep swivel. We have this hinge joint at the elbow, so he can bend his arm at a 90-degree angle. We also have a bar jointed hinge at the wrist, so we can hinge his wrist like this, and we do get a swivel there. There is no torso articulation. That's something I did notice through the packaging. Maybe if they would have added that, that's probably the only thing that's really missing there. There's also a peg hole in the back, in case you guys missed it. That would have been pretty cool, but nonetheless, it still looks pretty good. You know, it's not too bad. But a little bend at the torso would have been helpful too for some poses, I would imagine. So going down to the legs do go forward and back. They go in and out this much right here, so you can see here. Good range there, and they actually drop down almost similar to SH Figuarts style. It's not too much, but the drop down is there. You can see right here, and then you can just push it back up, and there it is. We do get a thigh swivel there. There is a double jointed knee that bends at a 90-degree angle, and then going to the ankles, they're on ball joints right there. The pegs are a little on the long side, so you can kind of see it exposed right there. But it's not too bad. I guess once he stands, he can kind of hide it. Mine are actually a little bit loose, and this is the only thing I find a little loose on him. All the other joints on his body are pretty tight, or pretty good. The ankles are a little loose, which is worrisome, because that's the most important piece of articulation that needs to be tight, because it needs to hold the figure. But as you guys saw, I was able to stand him up as so he can still stand up. He's got a bar joint there, so it will be able to move forward and back. It can swivel, and then I guess you can do a little ankle pivot since he it's on a ball joint there. And his tail is also articulated. We can spin the tail at a 360 degree right there, and it's on a hinge too, so you can hinge it up and hinge it down and turn that peg, and you can hinge it to the sides. So obviously Jerry's a little bit smaller. He's going to be limited in articulation, but you can see they actually tried. And at the end of the day, it didn't really do much, but they at least tried. So we actually have ball jointed hinges at the thighs, but they really don't do much because there's just no range of movement there. But you can try to see, it can kind of move his legs outwards like this. So they tried, you know. And forward and back, it's just very tight, so he's not going to be able to move. But they did add the articulation there, so they tried. And then the ankles are actually on ball joints, so you can see right there. And it snaps it right there. So you can, I guess, move the ankle completely you know, 360 degrees. They pivot and they move forward and back because of the ball joint. But that's it. Now the arms, there's no elbow articulation. You can kind of see the joint right there. So they move forward and back, and then they go in and out as so. There is no wrist articulation either. Now on this right arm, if you go too much, it does pop off. So I noticed that about my particular figure. Now they are supposed to pop off because he has crossed arms. I want to try and see how they look on him. Alright, and that's how he looks with crossed arms. Not too bad. Really not too bad at all. It just slides right into the hole. And it doesn't look too bad. So pretty cool. He comes with that little accessory. And then also, before I forget, he does have head articulation that moves left and right. It does look up a little bit. And looks, not down, but you can see the movement there. And it tilts like that. And then his toe actually is not articulated. It looks like it is. But if you turn it, it looks like the plastic's getting white. It looks like it's going to break. So I wouldn't recommend turning it. Taking a closer look at his face, this one's a little bit messier than Tom here. You can kind of see some white on the crease right there, on the line. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's glue, and that's about it. Other than that, I mean, if you look at the paint on the eyes and his tongue and his whiskers, it's clean. It's not bleeding onto anything else. The ears are painted nice too, but that white mark right there kind of bothers me a little bit. But other than that, it's not too bad. Alright, so as for the sizes of these figures, overall I think the size is pretty good. Some people are saying that Jerry's a little too big, which he does seem like he's on the big side, especially when you compare him to the one where he puts in his hand. It's significantly bigger size difference there, you can see there. So I guess this is more accurate, but they wouldn't really make a Jerry that small. I don't know. I did pull up some pictures on Google to see the actual scale of Tom and Jerry. I did see this one right here, and it seems like Jerry is standing about almost chest high to Tom, or you know, around his stomach. And you can see how, I mean, that's pretty much the same size as, or the same scale as this picture right there. And then if we take a look at this one, you can see how big Jerry is there. Let's see what else we have here. So you can see Jerry looks smaller in this picture. And then this one's, I guess, from the show, right? So he standing on his head, obviously a lot smaller in that picture. And then let's take a, this one is the one I saw where Jerry is very tiny. So you can see how small Jerry looks in that picture. So it kind of varies based, look at this one. Look how big Jerry is in this one. So it varies. It really does vary off of these pictures. So yeah, I mean, maybe he is a little tad bit on the big side. He should have been a little bit smaller. But at least he did give us this, you know, and he is very small in this. So you can fit him in his hand, and if you don't like this one, you can have him in his hand right there. But I think if they went any smaller, they would have limited his articulation to pretty much none, and he would have just been a statue. Alright, so there is the size of these two next to a standard Marvel Legend, if you guys were curious. So he's a 6-inch Marvel Legend. So Tom stands about 5 inches tall. And obviously Jerry's going to be just a little bit over an inch. And also, putting the bat in his hand is very, very difficult. The hands are gripped very tight, and the plastic's a very hard, tight plastic. So I had to run it through hot water to soften up the plastic, open his hand, and put the bat inside. And now it's hardened again. So it's in there pretty tight. So, alright guys, that does it. That concludes my review of the Tom and Jerry Dasin action figure pack. This is impressive, guys. Very impressive. I'm really, really impressed. This is without a doubt the best Tom and Jerry figures out there. It's crazy to say, but they are. Guys, stay tuned to the end of this video. I'm going to show a lot of pictures displaying these guys with the accessories that you didn't get to see in the video. So stay tuned for that little montage I always roll at the end of my videos. So you guys know what to do. Leave a like. Leave a comment. Seriously, guys, let me know what you guys think about this figure, especially. What are your thoughts on this guy? Do you guys have it? Do you like it? Have I convinced you to buy this? Guys, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Share the video. And as always, guys, catch you on the next one. Bye.